when Donald Trump gave the date, it took me back to all those stories in Fantasyland of people who gave the exact date when the world would end. These Americans with visions, and then the world didn't end. And what happens? What happens to the followers? What happens to the Trump followers on September 1st when Joe Biden is still working and sleeping in the White House?
Well, the smart prophets who predict, who give specific dates, as they have for hundreds of years, especially in this country, don't give dates, right? It's this is around the end of the world is around the corner, the second coming's around the corner, but like a date always gets you into trouble. The first big date giver was this Reverend Miller in 1844, who gave a date in the month of, I think, March, and it was going to end, and millions of people, like today with Trump, were ready for that. Didn't happen. He said, it's October. It's October 1844. And it didn't happen then. And then many of them were disappointed, and it became known as the Great Disappointment. But those followers, many of them became the Adventist religion, the Seventh-day Adventists, and here they are still today. So, you know, if you're invested in believing untruths, which is so central to Trumpism, to the Republican Party these days, one prediction of the failure to reinstate, as if that's a thing in the Constitution, won't necessarily stop them. I mean, who knows what horrible deep state thing will have prevented it? I mean, and it's not just Christian religion. I mean, the astrologer Gene Dixon famously gave one of these end of the world things. Jim Jones, who later ended in Jonestown. I often think of, when I think of Donald Trump, 2012, the world was supposed to end or transform in this Mayan prediction. It happens again and again, but the true believers keep on believing. I mean, I think we're getting down to the true base, because now he, as it's been reported, he actually believes this. So he is not just the charlatan fooling the suckers. He is among them, delusional, apparently, as they.
You have always you've recently taken to using a diagram to explain Trump in terms that you've always explained Trump. And one of the biggest bubbles of explanation of what Donald Trump has just said is stupidity. And that is one of the most important ones that you use. There are other bubbles that you use where it's self-promotion and other things. But stupidity explains a lot of what you hear from Donald Trump. And yet, in most of the kind of people in the political world of analyzing what he says, tend to leave that out and tend to think that there's something else going on.
No, it's important. I mean, the three main bubbles are lies, stupidity, and delusion. And there are plenty of liars in the world, plenty of liars in politics. So believing or understanding that the stupidity and now full-on, full-scale clinical delusion are what he's about is hard for people to accept, because, of course, he did this brilliant thing, right? He got elected president. So how can he be stupid? But he is so shamelessly stupid just about how government works, how this reinstatement in August would work, because it is like the extraterrestrials are going to come, or it's that kind of, wait, what's the basis for this reinstatement? No, he is really dumb. And when you combine the dumbness with this fantasy, which is the only way he can imagine ending the nightmare of, his blogs failing and not having the attention of the world that he had, 6 months ago.